I betrayed my boyfriend on his birthday. I feel as though I betrayed my BF on his birthday. This Saturday I was out in town with my BF of nearly a year and a half and his friends celebrating his 23rd birthday. The evening was going well until at one point we bumped into my ex. He was my first love and we were together for a few years. He was never happy with how we ended. He was very drunk and began speaking inappropriately. My BF and his friends went into the pub we were outside of and I spent about 2 minutes talking to my ex before going back in. My BF seemed unbothered by the situation but mentioned he was glad he's gone. We stayed in the same pub for about another hour before moving off up the town towards another. We got to the other pub and my ex was there with his friend. We get a drink and are just chilling in the smoking area. My BF was obviously a bit uncomfortable with how my ex was looking at me whilst we were chilling. At some point my ex wanders over and begins speaking inappropriately again and putting his hand on my back. My BF asks him to move along and my ex doesn't take this well. He shoves my BF and hits him in the face. My BF seemed instantly enraged. This scared me as I have not seen him like this before. My BF punched him in the face pretty hard, knocking him down. He then hit him another couple of times and finished with a kick in the ribs. Now this is where I can see that I fucked up big time. Once his friend pulls my BF back from the fight I ran to my ex on the floor and was checking he was okay and wiping the blood from his nose. I sat there for maybe 20-30 minutes, giving him a drink and checking him over. Once he was back up he left looking rather embarrassed. It was then that I looked around for my BF and couldn't find him anywhere. My friend said he left with his friends almost as soon as I went towards my ex on the ground, apparently looking heartbroken. I was meant to be staying at his place that night and got a taxi back there but there was no one home. It's been 3 days and I haven't been able to get hold of him. I got hold of his friend who said some pretty unpleasant stuff but probably deserved. I feel as though I betrayed him on his birthday. I feel terrible. I've been crying pretty much constantly since and don't know what I can do to make this up to him or fix our relationship. I'd imagine probably nothing at this point.
Relevant comments. DRSDOH. Could you clarify your reasoning for going to help the instigator of the violent act? Was it because you felt sorry for your ex? Or that you didn't like how violent it became? Or was it because you didn't want to see anyone hurt physically, ex or otherwise? I think you can take some time to reflect on this and try to communicate clearly why you did your action and let your partner have agency in what to do next. Whether or not he lets this go or breaks up with you should be his decision. On a separate note, I hope you will be well soon and lean on support from family and friends during this tough time. Edit, my apologies but I could have clarified? I didn't mean for this post to diminish the OP's actions, but we can be both empathetic and critical of her actions at the same time. I'm sure in some way, she's posting to vent her own frustrations at the situation, and I doubt that piling on would be any more useful. I hope that clears things up and wish people well.
OP. Initially it was just instinct really. He was injured whereas my BF was physically fine. My BF is much bigger and my ex was rather wasted. But then I stayed a little longer because I felt sorry for him. A lot of people saw and a fair few were laughing. I can see now how it was a mistake but in the heat of the moment I'm not really sure what came over me. Update. Thanks for all your comments. I've read them all and you all have valid points. Just to clarify, I am 100% sure I have no romantic feelings for my ex. I had been friends with him since we were little kids on the account of our parents being friends. In the heat of the moment, whilst drunk, I went to help a longtime friend rather than my ex, if that makes sense. I know it is no excuse and doesn't change the situation but just thought I'd let you know. I went by his house again earlier and have written what I could below. Please know I am not after sympathy or any advice at this stage. I'm just giving the update. I came round to my boyfriend's house a couple of hours ago. When he answered the door he looked utterly defeated. I almost started crying the moment I saw him like that. He invited me inside and we sat down on the sofa. He'd been drinking and watching a film which was still playing in the background. We sat on the sofa for a while in silence. I wasn't even sure where to start. After a while he just asked why I did that to him. Through tears I explained that at the time I viewed helping my ex merely as helping a longtime friend and not my ex. I was scared and shocked about the situation. I never meant to hurt him so much and how terrible I feel about it. I apologized profusely. My BF said nothing in this time and only poured himself more drinks. Eventually, after I asked him to please say something, he explained how I betrayed him and humiliated him in front of his friends when he was only trying to defend me. He asked how I could do that to him and although he tried to hide it by looking at the TV I could see him crying, which is something I've never seen him do. Words can't even describe the way I felt in that moment, looking at what I had caused. I just wanted the ground to swallow me up. We talked for a while longer and he continued hammering back the drinks. I urged him to take it easy but he ignored me. He explained how he still loved me but still can't believe that I would do him like that. He said he's not sure this is something he can forgive. I again apologized, begged for forgiveness, said I would do anything but he said he didn't want to talk about it anymore right now. We continued watching the film, both cried a bit more. A short time later he fell asleep next to me. He's currently asleep, on my chest. Part of me wants to think maybe he's willing to forgive me but deep down I suspect he's just sleeping like this subconsciously. Whilst I hope we can work through this, I completely understand if he is unable to forgive me. I love this boy dearly and can't believe I broke his heart like this. Honestly, I don't know what's next. I guess only time will tell. We'll have to speak more about this when he's sober, but as you've all pointed out, it's probably over. Update 2. Had breakfast this morning and then he told me to leave and not to contact him again. He said it was unforgivable, which is fair enough. Not exactly unexpected.